Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Commanders and the Jags. All that and more coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the NFC champions, the Washington Commanders. The long fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. They'll start on the ground, Etienne. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. They find some open field here. And all the way down to the 5. 64 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive of the Super Bowl. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll try to run with Etienne. And he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. 1st and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Gibson again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th. And this will be taken at the 13. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Howell. Forced out to his left. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Howell. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here on the second one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Howell. And Thomas has it. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So here we go, fourth down, Howell. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. On third down, Lawrence. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 98 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I think they like this job a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
What would look like a march to the end zone is hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Lawrence. And this one too low.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Chase Young able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board.
He's got him in, complete. A huge play there for Washington. 58 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run with Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are on the board here in this Super Bowl. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line. Ready for this?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. In motion comes the tight end left. On first down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Lawrence. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. And Ingram hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now Lawrence on first down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they go play action with Howell. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. One last shot before the break. Howell slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they trail here in the Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made it feel as they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Off play action. It's Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now Howell. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Faking the handoff. Howell. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Josh Allen, his second sack of the night. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not, it's not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game at Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A run between the tackles with Cohen. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Lawrence will throw. Flush to his right. That is caught by Cohen. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there on 2nd down.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Christian Kirk, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jags are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury?
because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit, and then now you can see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Lawrence. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended? That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall him all. What a play here. Another pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Now, he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. There he goes left side. He will take this all the way. Touchdown! It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So let's try this again after the kick return, TD. Here's yet another kickoff. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll go play action. Howell. Eluding the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
How about that part? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. Being chased out left. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will be taken down, but it's a big play and a conversion for Washington on 4th down. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
They're always hoping on that type of a play that they can get to the end of the line and have
have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify. I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And still about 3 yards shy of it first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And the question now, can they get closer on third down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. They'll run with Gibson. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Now the defense is going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So first and 10 now from the 30. Powell to throw. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. On first and 10, it's Gibson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Howell. He'll buy some time right. And he wisely will throw that one away. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
He's back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the same calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
In motion left goes Jones. Back to throw, Lawrence. Able to hook up here with Ridley. Able to get out across the 40-yard line, so a spectacular play to begin this drive. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Lawrence. He'll rifle rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
On 2nd and 10, Powell. He's going to try and go deep again. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, CD certainly doesn't get any more exciting than this. Overtime in the postseason. Of course, keep in mind things are different than the old way it was. In the playoffs now, both teams guaranteed a possession, so a touchdown here, if they get one, the ball game will not be over.
And partners, we both know many people have called for this change before, and they finally got it. After the Buffalo-Kansas City Classic in the 2022 playoffs, Patrick Mahomes and KC, they scored first. Game over. Josh Allen and Bills never touched the football. People hated that. Now the game reaches OT. Every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. First throw of overtime for Trevor Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones.
To Zay Jones. That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Open to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Now Lawrence. And Ingram hauls it in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards. Not lacking aggressiveness here to begin overtime, Charles. A pretty big play right there. And looked like it might have caught the defense off guard. They may have been expecting something a little more conservative.
Yeah, they've got to shore things up in a big way because they make any more mistakes like that and really let them drive it on them. They'll be putting their offense in a tough spot to answer if they want to extend their season.
Back to the ground with Etienne. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Jaguars. It's a 34-yard touchdown run. And Charles, that touchdown alone doesn't win them the game anymore with the rule changes and overtime in the postseason, but they still went down, scored, got the job done, and now they put it in the hands of their defense.
On the other side, now guaranteed an overtime possession. Getting that score was vital. The pressure's now on their opponent, and their defense, they have to play off the momentum the offense generated. One stop, and they end this game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, CD, in the regular season, they would already be celebrating. Not so simple here in the playoffs. Now they also need to make a defensive stand if they want to pick up the victory.
Yeah, and I'm sure the team would be in favor of just taking the win right now, but in a small way, those defenders are also kind of happy for the rule change because now, on the big stage of postseason, they're the ones who can come out here and lock down the victory.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 79 yards rushing for him now as he's just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. This is where the new rule comes into effect. In past years, this game's over. They've got a chance, though, to match touchdowns now. It's first down. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down, here's Gibson again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
Throwing here, Howell. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Gibson on the read option. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Well, what a game this has turned out to be here. Second possession of overtime. Obviously, Charles, they need the touchdown. And now looking pretty good here in the red zone.
And in addition, they face a very important decision if they do reach the end zone. Kick the extra point, take the tie, and send this game to sudden death. Or go for 2 and let it come down to one last two-point try.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Here's Howell. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
Howell throwing on third down here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, here we go. Now it's gut check time. They need to convert here to keep this. Anything short of a first down ends this ball game. Here's fourth down. So here we go, fourth down. Howell. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And unable to break away. They stop him a